Welcome, my fellow travelers. Thank you so much for joining me today as we go over the latest update for the special site of 6.5. So, I've been doing this for a while. I've been checking the lodestone every day, just trying to keep up to date on all the latest information. And we did get an update for the special site, but we get a little bit more than that actually. We actually have the notes, or the preliminary notes, for the patch. And this is going to be talking about all the updates, everything that we're going to be getting for part 1 for 6.5. But rather than read that all out, I'll let you guys go ahead and look it through at your own pace. Instead, I'm just going to be going straight off to the special site, just so that we can do a quick update. So here we are back at the special site. Once again, we are going to be getting the next patch October 3rd, which is only a few days away. So it's this upcoming Tuesday. Mark it on your calendars if you haven't already. And let's go ahead and see what's waiting for us now. So most of this we already looked through. And what is the first update? Here it is, Aloalo Island. So this is going to be the latest variant dungeon. So we have 2 screenshots here. The first one is, I'm guessing when we first arrive at the island. So this is part of the South Sea Isles. And it is gorgeous. It has the whole kind of Hawaii theme to it. And it looks like, this isn't a cave, this does look like it's natural building, so somebody definitely carved into this cliff face here. Still don't know exactly what's going on with this particular variant dungeon or who we're going to be running through it with. For this other picture, this looks like one of the paths that we're going to be taking. And I don't know, it's like a mystical, magical, fairy kind of vibe to it. I mean, this looks like a little fairy house and giant flowers. It almost feels like we shrunk down and we're running through like an aged magical tree almost. At least that's how I interpret it as. In a forgotten corner of the South Sea Isles lies Aloalo Island. Its lush flora and meowed fauna grown ever more bounteous in the years since it was last inhabited by man. This picturesque beauty, however, hides a doom all its own. So very ominous there. And just down below we actually have kind of the savage mode, and this here is going to be what I'm guessing is one of the 3 bosses that we can fight. And yes, it's a fairy with a gun. Something I didn't ever think to put together, but I'm strangely intrigued by the whole thing. I do want to say that this does not seem to be the same kind of fae folk that we saw back on the first in Ilmec. But at the same time, I do feel like it is some kind of strange connection. Like maybe this is the Source's version of the fae folk. But at the same time, I'm not entirely convinced that it is a fae folk either. So I do think that there is something going on here that may have created this creature. At least that's the best that I can come up with for the time being. We really don't know anything else about it. But yes, we are going to be getting a savage mode for this. And the Criterion dungeon, another Aloalo Island, provides an ever greater challenge for a party of 4. Gather your strongest allies to restore harmony to the isle's shores. So it does seem like we are going to be asked to come in and, help calm things down, help clear out whatever evil's kind of taken over the island, the usual. So at least that's something to look forward to. Okay, and here we have Tataru's Grand Endeavor. So at least we're getting a little bit more pictures here than what we've gotten in the past. If you remember from the fan festival, they did show a couple pictures for Tataru's Grand Endeavor. Not that they told us much. This one picture is actually giving us more information than the fan festival did for Tataru. So, at Taru's boutique enjoys unprecedented profits thanks to your realm-wide deliveries. Majinga steps forward with her own idea for the company's next endeavor. So, this should be wrapping up Tataru's Grand Endeavor. And so, I'm looking forward to seeing the end result. Like, I really am curious to see how this whole story will end, as well as what this necklace is going to look like. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then that means you haven't played through it yet, and I'm not going to spoil it for you there. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this story ends. And speaking of finales, we have the Somehow Further Hildibrand Adventures, so this should also be the finale for Hildibrand for the time being. And despite the stunning revelation that Godbrand, the founding lord of House Manderville, was of alien origin, it is business as usual for Inspector Hildibrand and his band of inquisitive misfits. That's an understatement. They barrel ahead in their efforts to crack the case of Poo-Poo's missing companion, bringing them into conflict with the most meddlesome nemesis they have encountered to date. So, as you know, he's special. He really is special. And we have Professor Brandyhild behind him, so don't know what they're going to do with Brandyhild. Like, maybe he'll go with Master Poo-Poo and his friend once they finally find him. A lot of people do seem to think that we are going to be getting the Ashura fight from this, and it's possible. I'm not going to count that out, but yeah, I'm having a hard time trying to figure out how they're able to mix that all in. Either way, it is going to be fun to see how he goes blasting off this time. And speaking of Mandervilles, we have the finale for the Manderville Weapons. We're getting a lot of finales here, though that is to be expected. So we had Godbird here, and it looks like he has yet another stone that we have to collect to finish up the last round of the Manderville weaponry. The successful application of extraterrestrial smithing techniques has brought the Manderville weaponry to new heights of excellence. Poised on the precipice of perfection, could the entire endeavor yet be undone by the threat of mundane, monadrical woes? Don't know what that's all about, but I have a feeling that we are going to find out, because these two together, they mix like oil and water. Not very well. I mean, they go good together, but at the same time, they don't mix well. Alright, also we have the finale for the Splendorous Tools, so this should be the final update for that. And we have Mistress Moen here, looking like she's having a good time, and I'm guessing that she's flirting with a certain blacksmith. Anyway, as the boutique Splendorous Tools pave a brilliant road for Norvrant's trades to trend, Grenold and Charazo are keen to continue their pursuit of perfection. Yet the past weighs heavy on General's mind, and he means to present Moen with one final proposal before their project is complete. When he says proposal, I really hope that it is what I'm thinking of, but I'm not going to spoil it for you there. I really do adore these two. I love this version of Rowena, who is Moen, of course. I wish we could just trade them out. I really do. Like, we could bring these two to the source, and we could just leave Rowena and Geralt there and let them kind of stumble around and see if that's, fixes their problems. Anyway, moving on. We do have the Endwalker Tribal Alliance quest. So in case you have not been doing the tribal quests up till now, we have the Arcosadora, the Loperids, and the Omnicrons for this particular expansion. And usually how this is done, we kind of get a final big adventure quest with all of them helping out as we kind of join forces against a common foe, which is usually the same foe. But anyway, I'm not sure how they're really going to work into this one. But they do give us a clue with the last dregs has helped patrons' happiness grow beyond what the laws of physics were once thought to allow. But could they be even happier? This is what Jammingway aims to find out, calling upon their Comrade and Apron's network of allies to host the greatest event that the end of the universe has ever seen. So that sounds like a lot of fun, so I'm guessing we're going to be bringing back some friends from all over and having a great big party at the end of the universe. I mean, how can you go wrong with that? So we do have a couple screenshots, such as the little Loperids are visiting the Arcosadora. And we do have the Loperids here on the moon, including our Talking Way Dark Bunny here, whom I love. Like, she's just such a unique little thing. I really did enjoy the tribal quest here. Okay, we also have the custom deliveries with Margret. So if you don't remember her, we met her very, very briefly during, what was it, the last time? Yeah, so we ended up meeting her last patch very briefly as she told us where we could find the special containers that could hold all this ether as we transported them off to Golemald. So we barely talked to her, but she was giddy, over the moon excited that she finally got a chance to rest and sleep and relax. So Apparently that's something that's very, very rare here, because from the industrious enclave of Charlie and Hamlet lifts a cry of anguish. Working hours are too long, deadlines are too short, and perhaps worst of all, the chairs are murder to sit on. Margaret may be only one of Labyrinthos' many denizens, but her distress echoes a greater discontentment within Charlene's foremost research community. Is there any hope for Margaret and her peers? Or will the voices of those who labor for love remain unheard? So yeah, she is going to be the next custom delivery, so I'm sure that it's going to be interesting. I just have a feeling it is going to be something different, and I hope it's going to be funny, because we could always use some more laughs. Okay, we talked about the Fall Guys. Oh, we have the Island Sanctuary update. So here is a picture of what it could look like once we ended up doing what they claim to be like the final update for this, at least for this particular expansion. I'm sure they'll do more updates in the future. But the time has come to bring your sanctuary by the sea to its idyllic culmination, with a new area to explore, more items to collect, animals to capture, and the Furball's mysterious favors to complete. There's plenty to keep the island busy. So I feel like I messed up there talking about that. Anyway, we do have what looks to be some new landmarks. We have some new items that look like we can spread about the island. We definitely have some minions. So it's going to be interesting to see that. I can't wait to see like the fully updated island, at least up to this point. Okay, so what else do we have? Well, we do have the Xbox Series X open beta. So it's going to be testing during the patch 6.5 cycle, I guess, to see how well it performs. So you can enjoy faster loading times on both consoles and crystal clear 4K resolution on the Xbox Series 10. So yeah, if you play Xbox Series 10, then I hope that you all are looking forward to that and enjoy it. Otherwise, it's very minor stuff. After that, we get new mounts, new minions, of course. So this particular minion is, I think, going to be a reward from doing Wondrous Tales. And if you trade in, I think it's going to be like a gold certificate. That's my bet. And we have, of course, this little minion on the beach. So I'm guessing that's going to be a new item that we can purchase from our island sanctuary. But otherwise, that should be everything for right now. So definitely a lot that we're going to be getting here. We got a bunch of pictures from the looks of things. And it only makes sense. We only have a few days left before the next patch comes out. So they're just kind of squeezing everything in at this point. So I'm guessing that's going to be everything that's going to be updated for the latest patch. I mean, they're probably going to be doing more updates, especially once we get to part 2. But that should be everything for right now. So thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you're looking forward to it. And I'll be seeing you all again soon. So until next time, everyone, take care.